If you see our helicopter on the news, it's a bad day. You know, we are out there in the remote areas waiting for the phone call to ring. We're going after the very small fires, the initial indications that there may be risk, and we're going out to smash it. Precision came about through Nancy and Dennis Sturdivant in 1983. Sadly, Dennis passed away in 2011, and that's when I got involved with Precision. Truly, it was just, let's look at what is the closest barrier, and right now we need to become a fiscally responsible company.
Now as the company's grown in the last 10 years, we've gone from 2 pilots to 36. When I came on, we had a Jet Ranger and an A-Star B2. We started getting into some fire contracting with the B2. A helicopter company up in Washington camped for sale, had 3 A-Stars and some Jet Ranger parts and whatnot, some trucks and trailers. So we ended up buying that, and that was our first big expansion. And then we said, all right, we're getting bigger into the fire game, let's go into a bigger airframe. And so the 205 was the clear choice. So we got a 205. We kept acquiring more aircraft, and then David had a vision, and that vision was Super Pumas. He came to me one day, he said, we're gonna buy Super Pumas. And I said, what is a Super Puma? It's like, well, if you buy it, I'll fly it. I'll tell you that right now.
It's a standard category aircraft. It has a standard airworthiness certificate on it. We would have the ability to flying personnel, firefighters, with this machine. The only other machines that were eligible were the S-61 and the S-92, and after the incident, there was going to be no more S-61s carrying firefighters. So the Forest Service, they didn't want anything built before 1990. They wanted a modernized aircraft, or to modernize the fleet, and they wanted something that they could eventually carry passengers in again.
Yeah, it was either go down the path of the Type 1 with the UH-60 or go down the new path with the 332. Well, the Super Puma standard category, so that's the biggest one, right? We can still take passengers. Performance-wise, they're very comparable aircraft. They're both excellent aircraft. No bad thing to say about either of them. But for us, the standard category piece was the major determining factor. So the Super Puma has a lift link. It goes directly from the bottom of the transmission directly down through the floor to the hook. So where the Hawks are getting into cracking issues is where the airframe stretches from picking up heavy loads. Super Puma has the same problem if it doesn't have a lift link, but we have that installed, and so we can go up to a 10,000 pound hook. Hawks have addressed it too. They have systems, STCs, different styles of that.
I have heard other customers in the U.S. Forest Service calling it the weapon. You know, a lot of times these local regions don't want to release the weapon because it can do so many things. It's just a really cool Swiss Army knife. It's the multi-mission tool that so many people have wanted but never got.
The simple thing is we cannot overhaul engines or major components or gearboxes. Everything else in-house, from structural repairs to sheet metal to avionics to the full list of inspections on an airframe, we can do in-house for ourselves and for third-party customers.
The Airbus only offered a single side bracket for a hoist, and so we engineered our own rappel brackets, all in-house testing. We have 2 full-time engineers here at Precision, and we got those brackets approved.
It's a 10 to 12 month process from the idea to the fancy piece of paper that they give you, and then installation on the aircraft. We have a team of engineers that work directly with the technician, the pilots/operator, in-house Precision, and that conglomerate of folks work directly with our own engineers and outside advice with engineers to ultimately build the product. Many revisions to the prototype before it's finally certified, and then to match all of the regulatory requirements.
We have a dream sheet in their office, so if we think we have a good idea, we go write it on their board, and then they tell us if it's really a good idea or not. We're so multi-mission with what we do. We can go out and do buckets, we can get recalled, we can load up with repellers, we can go out and put numerous repellers out different fires, then we can go do cargo, back to buckets, back to the rappel. I mean, we've done recons in the Super Puma. It is true multi-mission. So yesterday we went out, we were flying 2 different size buckets. We were flying our initial attack bucket that has a weight requirement specified on it by the Forest Service. It's got to be under 185 pounds. Cloudburst makes a great product for that. It's a 528 gallon gated bucket. It packs down really nice, sits in the back of the aircraft, and it's always with us on rappel operations, that and the 150-foot long line. The other bucket we were flying is our in-house created mutually through Nomad, our sister company over in Indo. It's a pneumatically actuated bucket, and it is a tank. I mean, you can drag it to the trees, you can pick up rocks, you can pick up branches. It just keeps working, it doesn't fault. Our other system is the recoil tank. We were a big part of getting that certified, and then we're operating it currently in South Korea. It's a 1,000-gallon expandable tank to 4 drop doors, so you can do two doors or 4 doors for a drop.
Flying the Super Puma for the first time, it flies like a boat almost. It's a very large aircraft, and you forget that it can be very maneuverable as well. And I remember the first time flying it with our chief pilot Ty, and I'm sure I was flying it like a boat, like just very slow, methodical about all the turns, thought I needed the whole sky to turn it around. And then he's like, here, let me show you. It still flies just like a helicopter. And so then having experienced pilots like that have a lot of experience with the airframe, be able to show you what this thing can actually do is pretty great. So for firefighting, basically it can do everything. It can drop the buckets of water, we can put a tank on it, and we can do rappel, we can drop personnel, whatever. I think as far as rappel, that it's much more comfortable as far as like the seating arrangements, and we can fit so much more into it. I think it's great. It was interesting to watch like the medium type helicopters go out and do their rappels, and they're, taking the 4 guys out and then coming back for the next 4 and then coming back for supplies, whereas we take all 8 of them out and all of their supplies all in one drop.
We do focus on people that have a utility or a fire background before they come here. We can teach anybody to fly a Super Puma, especially if you've been flying an A-Star, because that's how they love to describe it, is just a big A-Star. If they have flown the A-Star and they're good in the utility world, those are the type of pilots that we tend to look for.
We've only hired 2 pilots out of all we have with actual Super Puma experience. Everybody else has been trained in the Super Puma. So it's been a journey on that side of things. If you can fly a helicopter well, that's 90% of it. 10% is learning the aircraft. Maintenance isn't that way. A really true good technician, they have to know the airframe in and out. And so if they're a good mechanic, that's probably 40% of it, and then 60% of it is knowing the airframe. So they have a lot further to climb the ladder on their experience.
We'll take a very advanced A-Star mechanic or technician and then train them through our own training methods, perhaps sending them to the Airbus school. But we train in-house, and we've had the most success here in the United States to grow from within.
The magic number for us, we think, is 10 aircraft. What those 10 aircraft are, we'll see. But that's kind of the size we want to stay. We don't want to get much bigger than that.
The idea is to put 16 fully loaded firefighters in the back of this aircraft and be able to deliver them to a fire. Kind of the ultimate helitack crew, or be able to move an entire hotshot crew in one shot. That is one of the goals.
When I first started here, the UAS side was busier than the manned side, right? They had more aircraft, they had more contracts. And so over the years, in the last decade, it's been kind of ebb and flow.
The reliability of these systems have now surpassed what they were 20 years ago. The payloads, of course, the cameras, the sensors that are being deployed now are significantly improved. The package you're getting in such a smaller confined area is amazing. So developing that technology between the payloads and now a high reliable aircraft that needs very little infrastructure, like a flex rotor, for instance, that vertically takes off, so you don't need any launch and recovery equipment, will be really key for the success of the future UAS market. Because we're so heavily vested in the firefighting community, it just makes sense that we provide this capability to the Department of Interior and U.S. Forest Service. You know you've made it when you don't seek the customers, but the customers seek you.